In this video, I'm going to work through 11 through 18. I'm not really going to focus on the explanations as much, but I want to just quickly sort of highlight one of the other statistics calculators. If you're having some trouble with Desmos, maybe this one would be better. So this is actually a website, and I linked it on Canvas. It's Calculator Soup, Descriptive Statistics Calculator. It's nice in that it does a lot of the work all at once. Which sort of means less button clicking. But there's a few key things that often lead students astray, which is why I tend to favor Desmos over it, and there's some things that it doesn't do. So first off, when you open this calculator, you'll see there's a box up there, and it has sample versus population. We're gonna start with sample, and then later on we'll flip to population. I already pasted in my data set from Google Sheets. This time I'm looking at the president's heights. And once I have that data set in there, I can just hit calculate. And you'll notice some interesting features with this. It puts the numbers in order, which is nice. And then it basically has all the values I need. Almost, with a little like asterisk by it. So you'll see, okay, there's the range. The range is 11. So I got the range. I got my mean, because I was asked for the mean. And that's 70.82. I have my median, which is 71, and I got my mode. Oh, it does the mode for me. How nice. So, a little less work in that I didn't have to go through and, do each one separately. So some people, this is nice. Now, a few things to be aware of though. So here it just has standard deviation. This standard deviation that it's giving us is the sample one. So that would be down here under sample. If I want to get my population standard deviation, I would actually need to change this button up here. And this is where students mess up. So I would need to change, I keep adding weird symbols to my box. Let's take those out. I would need to change this to population and then recalculate. Now, when I go down and I look at my standard deviation, this is the population one, and so 2.71. And so I did have to sort of do those separately, just to sort of make sure that I was finding the right values. Obviously, it won't do the approximate one. I still need to do that one by hand, which would be 11 divided by 4. And that's not going to come up here. And it doesn't refer to the 5-number summary sort of in terms that we've seen. You sort of have to look in different parts. So it has the min and max up top. So we have our minimum value and our maximum value. But then to get the rest of it, notice quartile 1 and quartile 3 are down here in this quartile box. And so, I can say, okay, my min is 64, my quartile 1 is 69, my median is 71. So I just have to look in a few more places. But, if you don't have a problem with that and you can sort of understand it, this is, a pretty nice calculator that does a lot at once. Obviously, it also won't do our data displays for us. So I have to do a little more work here where I would then go in and using these values, I can find 64. And so this might be a place where it's like I'd switch over to Desmos if I was, really doing this problem out and then come back, to my other calculator or pull all the data I can from this calculator and then switch back, go back to Desmos to do my data display. Now in this, I just want to stress, if you compare this box plot to the box plot for the previous problem, you notice how much more spread out the age data is than our height data. It's the same size number line, but those values are so much more crunched together. So there's really low variation. I don't expect outliers. Those tails aren't super long. And obviously, that's what you were asked to test on number 17. I'm not going to do out the rest of these problems in the video. I really just wanted to highlight this particular descriptive statistics calculator. I also want to stress don't always trust. It has outliers here, but they may be using a slightly different outlier test. Remember, I said some statistics calculations are a little more strict on what makes an outlier than we are. We're using 2 standard deviations, so you still need to go through and check and not just trust that none, which is what you're going to be doing on number 17. If you want to double check your answers, go look at the written key on Canvas, and then stay tuned to the next video where I talk a little bit about the last 3 problems.